king of the world. And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Many faces of death.
3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, and Raka. Hey, chill. I want what you want, brother.
Oh, yeah?
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide?
Hey there, friends and family. This is Dan. I'm here with the Dan and Adam Are Afraid podcast. It is Saturday, May 16, 2026. I'm joined here on episode 99, almost episode 100, folks. Joined here by my Indian co-host, Adam.
I can't believe you had me on this podcast.
Dude, we need to do a breen. That's got to be a post 100, just a breen.
Just a slew of Breen. It's like, guess what we're watching next? You're right. Neil Breen.
It's surreal. It fits the theme more than some of the movies we talk about.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't seen any Breen films. I'm going to go, but I would. You know, if I have an excuse to watch it, I would watch it.
I want to be alive, Adam. What about you?
I'm stuck being alive, so I might as well. Yeah, I want to be alive. No room for nihilism on this podcast.
And no room for slacking or wasting space or time. We're moving on, Adam. We have a Substack interview to read. We've been putting it off. We need to do it. You get to be the interviewer, Adam. Harmony Korine has something to say. What's up, bro?
Everything's great. I'm coming to you from London.
We're coming to you from Miami.
Are you having fun down there? Congrats on the exhibition launch.
Thanks. I'm really happy about it. It's nice to see everything from the last 30 years, all in one space.
Does it feel like you've been working for 30 years?
It feels like I've been working for longer than that. I think I've been doing a variation of the same thing since I was 15 in high school.
I feel you. You've got this unimitable energy to your work that so many artists try to imitate. You only know that energy properly when you see your version of it, whether it's through film or a painting or a zine you've made. You do so much.
I think that's why I feel so burned out. The retrospective is just a smattering of the work I've made. For every painting or film, there's 10 more that couldn't make the cut. It's difficult to turn off my imagination.
So how do you start putting this together?
They approached me a couple of years ago, and I mostly let Alex Gartenfeld and his curation team put it together. I'm pretty happy making the work and then letting those guys construct their own narrative based on it. And I rarely ever look back on it. I'm always thinking about what's next.
You've lived in Miami for over a decade now. Does the heat of the place have a hold on you still?
Yeah, I'm in a permanent state of heat stroke. I just want to walk around, sun-kissed all day, in delirium, smoking cigars, dreaming of fishing, and drinking Mountain Dew.
Do you feel like Miami audiences see your work differently?
Probably. I think the vibes here are different. Irony really doesn't exist in Miami. Even the hipsters drive Range Rovers.
I was in Venice when you premiered Aggro Drift. I remember hearing rumors that you'd intentionally turned up the volume to piss people off.
I was trying to get as many people as I could to walk out. I was trying to figure out if there was a pain threshold with volume that people would allow themselves to experience. We asked the projectionist to crank it to the point of distortion.
People were putting earplugs in. It was so intense. Do you love being antagonistic?
I was just born that way, so I don't know. Maybe it has to do with being paddled in school, growing up. Like it doesn't seem real unless there's some kind of pain attached to it.
I just try to make that shit as base as possible. I just try to make it based. I try to bring the heat. That's all I try to do.
As you were unearthing these old works, were you reminded of how they were made? I was thinking of the Macaulay Culkin shots from The Bad Son.
It was a long time ago. I think it coincided with the Sonic Youth video. I think most of the images were shot over the course of one afternoon. And then we printed it and made Xerox copies, because I like the way Xerox looks. But I'd forgotten about a lot of it. When I first walked in, I was like, holy fuck, where did all this come from?
Sometimes before I interview people, I like to search their name on eBay and see what the most expensive item there is. Yours are your Supreme decks from 2011, but your art books are not far behind.
I gave away almost all those books to friends, so I've actually bought them back from eBay or booksellers and stuff. My favorite thing on eBay was my signature on a cue card for 50 cents. Buy it now. 2 quarters. Even less than the postage. I love that it made more sense for this guy to get 2 pieces of bubblegum than to keep the signature.
Well, if it's any consolation, someone tried to buy my cans cap you designed off my head at the festival last year. I was wondering what your meme consumption was.
I like Skibbity Toilet. I'm excited for that movie.
By Michael Bay?
I actually think that it would be amazing. I think that in some way, that's the greatest pairing. Pain and Gain is a great movie.
Is there anything you haven't done in a while that you'd like to?
I feel like making a movie again. There's a lot of stuff in the works with animation and gaming engines, but it's been almost a decade since I made a film, something scripted. There's sometimes images you can't get out any other way.
Do you want to make it in Miami?
My family is here, but I also like the idea of going somewhere else, like the Caribbean.
Lefty has started making movies. What's she teaching you about art?
I don't know. She was at the opening, and it was the first time she'd seen any of that stuff. She's at the point where she's just starting to make stuff herself, so it's fun for me to watch her and hear her ideas. She's a true character. I think she's going to make great things.
Who deserves a retrospective?
A Herman Nietzsche retrospective would really freak a lot of people out. For film, Alan Clark, Michael J. Fox, or Burt Reynolds.
Do you ever spend time in Hollywood anymore?
It feels strange now because it's decentralized. There's no center of power anymore. Kids who are doing streaming are more powerful than studio heads. Within America, there's this idea of New York and Los Angeles dominance. There's so much America that's out there. New York and LA are not America. People should make art in Baton Rouge.
You found Miami.
And look what it did. Gave me permanent heat stroke.
I just try to make that shit as base as possible. I just try to make it based. I try to bring the heat. That's all I try to do.
All right, Adam. What'd you think about that? What do you think about that interview with Harmony Korine?
I think some of these comments in this article would leave some people, an old person, very confused. Z-Root DNA on April 27th said, Kareem goated, one of the greatest unk minds of our generation. And I don't even think I know what that means, but yeah, man, I'd be excited if Harmony has a new movie. He wants to make a new movie.
Let's check out.
Interested.
That's the big takeaway, right? He's like, I want to make a real movie. I want to be a real boy again. Let's check out the Harmony Korine subreddit. What's going on with these great minds? Anyone know where I can watch Kids 1995? Just watch Gummo. There's a photo of Leos Carax and Harmony Korine from the set of Mr. Lonely in 2007. That's interesting.
Nice. Yeah, let's get them together for a collab.
Well, I was trying to see if I could find when this news broke, because it's now like a month old. But also, shout out, if you don't know, there's a documentary behind the scenes kind of thing for Mr. Lonely called The Lonely that was put up on YouTube. Check it out. I don't know. I guess when I hear this, I do feel a little weird because I'm like, bro, Baby Invasion's like my favorite movie. You've made a real movie. It's okay, man. You don't have to let people make you feel bad about what you've made. I think there's a little bit of that in there, but maybe not.
Yeah, like I would hate to think that he regrets Baby Invasion, or he just doesn't count it amongst his movies. But I guess it was an experiment.
But I'm excited. I don't know. You know, we've talked about a ton about Harmony Korine. Like, first thing that comes to my mind is, well, he has that Terrence Malick script. So is that what he's going to make next? We'll see. Now, Adam, we have a movie this week, episode 99. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right, Dan. Yeah, we watched 2022's RRR.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
స్కాట్ వారు మా ఆదిలాబాద్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఓ చిన్నపిల్లని తీసుకొచ్చారు. మీరు తీసుకొచ్చింది గోండ్ల పిల్లనండి.
అయితే వాళ్ళకి ఏమైనా 2 కొమ్ములు ఉంటాయా?
ఒక కాపరుంటాడు.
పులిని పట్టుకోవాలంటే వేటగాడు కావాలి. ఆ పని చేయగలిగేది ఒక్కడే సార్.
ప్రాణం కన్నా విలువైన నీ సోపతి నా సొంతం అన్నా. గర్వంతో ఈ మనలో కలిసిపోతేనే.
బ్రిటిష్ ప్రభుత్వానికి ఎదురు తిరిగిన నేరానికి నేను అరెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను.
తొంగి తొంగి నక్కి నక్కి కాదే, తొక్కుకుంటూ పోవాలి. ఎదురొచ్చినోడిని ఏసుకుంటూ పోవాలి.
చాలా ప్రమాదం, ప్రాణాలు పోతాయిరా. ఆనందంగా ఇచ్చేస్తాను బాబాయ్.
Brace yourself for wrong. Brace yourself for
ఈ నక్కల వేట ఎంతసేపు? కుంభస్థలాన్ని బద్దల కొడదాం పదా.
Yeah, that's right. RRR. It's a 2022 Indian Telugu language epic period action drama film directed by S.S. Rajamouli.
It's episode 99, folks. Thanks for joining us on episode 99. Such a momentous occasion for Dan and Adam. And I want to remind everybody to rate the podcast on Apple or Spotify. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Share it with a friend. Send it to your family. Hit the like button on YouTube. Subscribe. Drop a line. Leave a comment. Slam that notification bell. Join the Discord. Hang out and chat with us. Follow Dan's Night Out on Instagram and check out our other links in the description. Dan and Adam rely on the kindness of listeners just like you, taking the time out of your day to make a difference. And our bargain remains. If you leave a review, we will read it live on the show, live on air. Thank you. Now on to the program. Adam, episode 99. How excited are you to be doing episode 99 today?
Dude, I am so excited to be one away from 100. I mean, what could you say? What does 99 even represent in the cosmos? Well, it represents us getting closer and closer to our goal, right?
I guess. The goal, a body of work. I guess our immediate goal is making it to 100, so we're almost there. I want to read the IMDb description tags because, I don't know, they're fun. 1920s, forest, torture, bare-chested male, racism, male friendship, rescue, singing. This would be like a wild, one of those movies that they make with like Pixar or whatever, where they're like, it's about all your emotions. Just all these IMDb description tags.
Yeah, I want to see the emotion. I want to see the character for bare-chested male.
And racism. Adam, go ahead and read me the IMDb plot description for RRR.
A fearless warrior on a perilous mission comes face to face with a steely cop serving the British forces in this epic saga set in pre-independent India.
Rise.
Roar.
Revolt.
No.
Oh my God. All right, try not to be racist on this episode.
Hey, that was just the music.
That was a song I was singing.
That's the I'm making it. I've already made a vow to myself, and I'm making it again right here. You will not hear these on this episode. You will not be hearing the hosts do their Indian accents.
I've never felt more connected to my Indian brothers and sisters than I have now. Last time was when I watched Christopher Nolan's what's that movie called? The one he did where it's backwards that no one's seen because it came out during the pandemic.
Oh, Tenet.
Yeah, they Indians love Tenet, right?
Did Indians love? I mean, hey, man.
Right into the show. Let us know. So I love this image. I put it up. I screenshotted it. I think everyone's racist, Adam. No one takes good screenshots of any of this stuff in this movie. I had to get screenshots for everything you see in here, basically, which is annoying. Why don't people just have good screenshots available of the actors in the movie? Like, why do I have to take them myself? Anyway, read me that caption on that the side of that wall covered in blood.
The sun never sets on the English Empire.
Yeah, and I love, let me just say up top, the thing I love about RRR is how much it's not a liberal fantasy movie, right? There's no like, we should really try to talk to them and get them on our side. They're like, no, get the guns and kill them in Minecraft.
Yeah. I personally love how evil the British are portrayed in this movie, and so like it is just okay to kill. It's okay to kill them.
It's okay to stomp on their neck.
It's okay to kill Brits.
It's okay to crack their spine in half like a Mortal Kombat character.
Finish him.
I wanted to make a distinction up front here, Adam. So, you know, when we think about Indian cinema, when you think about Indian cinema, I mean, do you think about Indian cinema at all, Adam? I guess that's a question up front.
Yeah, I guess like if I were to be honest, no, I don't. When I think of Indian cinema, I think of Slumdog Millionaire. That's the only movie I think of. An Indian movie ostensibly made for white audiences. So
I mean, I have some like history. I have seen some Bollywood. I've seen some old Bollywood horror films. I bought a box set from Mondo Macabro, the Bollywood horror box set, which came with a set of movies. Bond Darwaza, Purana Mandir, Virana, Purani Haveli. Mahakal is one that I think Massacre Video put out. You got Takana. And these are just a bunch of like 1980s inspired by, you know, Mahakal is literally like a Nightmare on Elm Street ripoff with like singing and dancing and shit. So I'm familiar with the cinema, and I was already prepared for the 3-hour runtime because that's part and parcel with this kind of cinema. It's
that's standard, right?
Yeah, it's all like 3+ hours long. All those movies I just read you, those are all 3 hours long, and I've watched all of them. I have a fondness for them, but here's the thing, Adam. This is not a Bollywood movie.
What?
It's
where am I right now?
It's actually a Tollywood movie, which is different. So we should just mention, we'll get into it a lot on this episode, but there's a lot of, you know, it's just like here, you have Hollywood, you have movies made in Atlanta, you have things made all over the place. We just kind of call it Hollywood. Anything made in America, we call Hollywood. But in other countries, they have very distinct sectors. So like Bollywood is Hindi language cinema based in Mumbai, known for glamour, romance, big musical numbers. Stories tend to be urban, modern, star-driven. These are the mainstream Indian movies most Americans know. So when you picture like people singing and dancing and being melodramatic and it's about romance, that's Bollywood. Now, Tollywood's a little bit different, different language, Telugu. I want to apologize up front, everybody. I'm not an Indian. I'm not from India. I don't know how to say any of this. I didn't watch any interviews. So I'm going to say a lot of this shit wrong, but Telugu language cinema based in Hyderabad, known for mythic heroes, huge action, operatic emotion, leans into epic storytelling, folk tradition, and larger-than-life spectacle. This is where, I guess this is RRR. We got some pictures here of who you mentioned earlier, Mr. SS Rajamouli. He's a good-looking guy. I like that shirt he's wearing. Would you wear the RRR shirt?
I would definitely wear the RRR shirt.
It was written directed by SS Rajamouli. Caveat here, Indian cinema, especially Telugu cinema, traditionally splits writing into separate roles. So you have distinct credits for story, screenplay, dialogues, lyrics. So the story was actually by Vijayendra Prasad, which is his father. So the story idea came from his dad, and he actually wrote the screenplay. It's not like Quentin Tarantino. He's more like an Indian George Lucas, James Cameron, or Baz Luhrmann. I like that last one a lot for him. Dialogues and lyrics are written or adapted by specialists for each language or region of release. It's kind of similar to like Italian dubbing and stuff that was very popular in the 60s, 70s, whatever. But read me a little bit about Mr. Rajamouli.
Well, he's a Telugu filmmaker whose mythic, maximalist approach has made him the most commercially successful and globally recognized Indian director working today. Born in 1973 and shaped early by his screenwriter father, Vijayendra Prasad. We're going to fuck up these names, folks. It's not that we don't care. I spent like 5 minutes. I spent like some time this morning, like listening to how these names are supposed to be pronounced, and I'm still not doing it right.
It's fine. They'll hear it in our spirit that we love them.
Rajamouli built his reputation through emotionally charged commercial hits before breaking out internationally with Iga. His Bahubali films from 2015 to 2017 redefined the scale of Indian cinema, with Bahubali 2 becoming the first Indian film to cross 10 billion.
Those are like crones or something. We'll get into it.
10 billion Indian dollars. There we go.
It's rupees.
Worldwide. I don't think it's rupees. Because I think you're right. It starts with a C.
Well, that's like a measure. I was looking into it. It's a measurement, like how we would say like 1,000. It's complicated. It's rupees, but it's 10 billion rupees. Yeah.
In 2022, he reached unprecedented global acclaim with RRR, which won the Academy Award for Best Original Song and earned praise from filmmakers like James Cameron and Steven Spielberg. Rajamouli's signature is mythic heroism, operatic emotion, and set-piece spectacle, a style that blends Indian epic tradition with modern blockbuster craft. His films consistently transcend language and region, making him a central figure in the rise of pan-India cinema.
So does pan-Indian cinema just mean like, what does that mean?
I think it means all of India instead of like just, Telugu or Hindi.
It says pan-Indian film is a term related to Indian cinema that originated with Telugu cinema as a mainstream commercial cinema appealing to audiences across the country with a spread to world markets. So it's specifically Telugu cinema that appeals to a broad audience internationally. Think Italians trying to make movies for everybody in the 70s. Okay. Sorry. 13 feature-length films. This guy's made quite a bit, but he's a new guy, right? He didn't start making movies till 2001. I did not do any research on these movies. I did not have time for that, Adam. Did you?
Actually, I did, Dan. No.
Okay, so we're just gonna bounce through them. He did Student Number 1 in 2001. He did Simhadri in 2003. Something called Sai in 2004. Chhatrapati in 2005. Vikramarkudu 2006, Yamadanga 2007. I should note Magadira here from 2009 stars our boy from RRR who plays Raju. So they started working together in 2009. Then we had Maryada Ramana from 2010. I would love to get that poster from my wall. And this is actually the one I would highlight. And I think this shouldn't be what we shouldn't do, Adam, is we shouldn't just cover RRR and then that's it. We're done with Indian cinema. I think we should actually look at these and think, hey, maybe we talk about this one next. I think Yega, however you say this one might be interesting because it's the one that blew him up. And just looking at that poster with the fly, looks interesting. I'm curious. Obviously, from there, he did his big epics, the Bahubali movies, which is Bahubali the Beginning and Bahubali 2, the Conclusion, from 2015 and 2017. Should be noted, these were eventually edited, remastered, expanded into a supercut of the two movies together. And it was released in 2025 called Bahubali, the Epic. It'd be comparable to like Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, or if maybe Peter Jackson had the Lord of the Rings movies combined into one single movie. It's probably like 6 hours.
Those movies wouldn't be as long, right? Like, yeah, I'm about to say 6 hours. That's an epic.
I doubt it's that bad. It's probably like 5 hours. They probably cut some stuff out, but I mean, those are all also on the list, technically. You know, these are directly before RRR, which came out in 2022. We'll get into the context of that. I did want to mention this one. It seemed interesting. He has an upcoming movie next year called Varanasi, something like that. And it says, a Shiva devotee is sent on a mission, or on a mysterious mission, to find an ancient cosmic artifact. As he travels through history uncovering clues, he discovers the one who assigned the quest is an evil mastermind seeking world control forever, unveiled. Do you got any interest in this one?
I do. I mean, the poster there is of like a comet or something smashing into the earth. So that imagery plus some kick-ass songs. Yeah, I think I'd love to see this film.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'll keep it on the list. Now let's go over the good and the bad here about Mr. S.S. Rajamouli. What was the good, Adam?
Well, the good is that he has mythic clarity, set-piece engineering, emotional sincerity, character-first spectacle, and cultural specificity with global readability. I like that last one.
Yeah, it kind of gets into that pan-Indian cinema thought. And then it kind of makes sense, I guess, like panspermia is trying to get things spread larger. So pan maybe just means to spread. But the bad, Adam, the bad, the not good. Excess as default. Historical looseness. Villains as cartoons. Pacing bloat. CGI inconsistency. These are rather subjective, right? Because we like excess, don't we, Adam?
Yeah.
You even commented that you liked that the villains were like cartoons.
Yeah, like, because who's that? It's Ray Stevenson in this movie, and there's a certain... I just feel like some of the direction for him on set would have been like, you know, remember, you are playing just the most evil British person we've ever seen in our life. And he's like, gotcha. No, I know exactly what to do.
It's like, remember.
And he's New Zealand, I believe.
Remember,
right?
You are the evil guy from Jumanji.
Yeah, right. But it works so well because, like, I don't know. This movie is about, you know, revolutionaries fighting against oppression, and without even knowing about, you know, what was it called? Was it called Raja Britain? I don't know, like the British rule over India. Without knowing anything about it, watching this film, you're just like, it's bad.
Yeah,
it's not good.
The British Raj.
Yeah, there you go. The British Raj. Yeah, fuck these. Oh man, I just was laughing so hard every time one of these fuckers got owned.
Yeah,
last
for
night.
sure. A lot of this movie is like fist pumping, right? And when I watched it, I finally understood why you had that like absurd reaction in theaters where they had the meme of people like setting fireworks off, and there's like confetti everywhere flying. There's like t-shirt cannons going off. Like it's very much like you're rooting for the two main characters the whole time. So the violence is cathartic. And you're rooting for it. You love it. We love to see the violence.
Yeah, I love a fist pump right into the face.
Now, fans of our Passion of the Christ episode will feel right at home now when we get into a little bit of the historical Bhim and Raju. This is very loosely based on the lives of Indian revolutionaries Komaram Bhim and Alluri Sitarama Raju. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying to be respectful. So Komaram Bhim lived from 1900 to 1940. He was a tribal freedom fighter from the 1930s who fought for the Adivasi land rights against the Nizam of Hyderabad. Nizam? I don't know. He was a Gond tribal leader operating in the forests of present-day I can't say any of these names. Telangana, and he's best known for the slogan Jal, Jangal, Zameen, meaning water, forest, land. His struggle was local, anti-feudal, and rooted in protecting indigenous autonomy. So, it gives you an idea of who he was, and I think they do portray him in that way in the movie. Go ahead and read me a little bit about historical Raju, Adam.
Alluri Sitarama Raju, born 1897 died 1924. He was a guerrilla leader from the 1920s who led the Rampa Rebellion against British colonial rule in Andhra Pradesh. He was charismatic, aesthetic revolutionary who organized tribal communities into armed uprisings against the British. His image in Indian memory is almost saint-like, a martyr figure who died young.
Yeah, interesting to see the year there, right? Died in 1924. And we already read that Bhim was a freedom fighter in the 1930s. So, yeah, it's already not lining up. But that comes in the next line here. Bhim and Raju were real revolutionaries, but they lived in different decades. They fought different enemies, and they never met. Bhim was a 1930s Adivasi leader fighting with Nizam for tribal land rights. Raju was a 1920s guerrilla martyr who led a rebellion against the British. In this movie, RRR basically asks, what if these two legends, these two absolute legends, these two absolute units teamed up like superheroes? What do you think about that, Adam?
And they really are like superheroes in this movie. I think it's, it really shows that our country doesn't believe in it. We don't have, our country doesn't have mythology. We don't have national pride. We don't have any real, we don't have any real heroes, right?
We have, we have Abraham Lincoln versus zombies or whatever.
And I remarked to my wife last night, on the same vein of thought, if America, I want more nationalistic movies like this. They don't need to. I don't need we have American Sniper. Those are and it's like some shitty Clint Eastwood movie about a fucking unhinged, dude.
Bin Laden.
And I would love a 3-hour epic about Abraham Lincoln becoming friends with, I don't know, JFK. One of these two assassinated presidents actually met up in real life and fought against, I don't know. I guess that's the problem with here in America, is that they'd be like killing Native Americans, right?
I mean, I want to make a comparison here.
That would be our epic struggle.
You haven't seen, You haven't seen One Battle After Another yet, right?
No.
Okay.
No, I keep meaning to watch it.
So I want to make a comparison there because you do have cartoonish evil characters in that movie, and it's about kind of revolution and like, I guess that'll be a really interesting episode, folks. You guys stay tuned 10 years from now. But let's look at some good comparisons. So to think about, Passion of the Christ, historical Jesus. We love historical Jesus here on the show. Nizam, who we keep talking about, who Beam was fighting, it was kind of like Herod, because it was like it was just like a rural leader who was appointed, and they weren't even British, and they were just like, stop fucking with our land. And then you had the Gond Rebellion, which he was a part of. That was like the Galilean resistance movements. And then the British Raj is similar to the Roman imperial administration. So when you think about Pontius Pilate, Chris Pontius, as we get to later, that's who that kind of relates to. Do you like those comparisons, Adam? As a historian, a fellow film historian?
As a fellow film historian, I do like those comparisons. Yeah, no, it helps. I like to think about the Galilean resistance movement also, like maybe imagining if they had some balls, then Peter would have been a terrorist leader.
In Minecraft, folks, and many other video games. I brought this up to him, so this isn't going to be the last reference to Passion of the Christ on this episode, most likely. Assuming we don't both die during this episode, not be able to record the whole thing. But I said this week, was not expecting to talk about the Passion of the Christ during the RRR pod, but here we are. We'll get into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got, there are similar themes in these movies.
Yeah, there's literally a flogging scene. All right, we'll get into it. Adam, who did the cinematography for this movie? You better pronounce his name extremely correctly.
Cinematography by K.K. Senthil Kumar, closely associated with Rajamouli's rise, having shot 7 of Rajamouli's films between 2004 and 2017. A graduate of the Film and Television Institute of India, he is known for his precision high-contrast lighting, bold color design, and clean, muscular camera movement. He helped define the look of Rajamouli's cinema. His work on Magadhira in 2009 and Iga in 2012 and the Bahubali saga set a new technical standard for Telugu blockbuster filmmaking. The sweeping operating visual identity people now associate with Rajamouli is in large part, K.K. Senthil Kumar's signature. Some movies that he did with Rajamouli, he did Sai in 2004, Chhatrapati in 2005, Yamadanga in 2007, as we said earlier, Magadhira in 2009, Iga in 2012, and then he did the Bahubali movies 1 and 2 in 2015 and 2017, respectively.
Yeah, and I want, it makes sense here to bring him up because he is like a huge part, right? You think about RRR and you think about the cinematography and how fucking weird it looks. But yeah, I don't know. I guess let's bring that up. What did you think about the look of this movie, Adam? What did you think about the movement and everything?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of this movie, and a big part of that is the cinematography. I mean, there's so many shots. Like, there's one shot, with in the scene where all the animals get released into the courtyard, and then when Raj shows up, they call him so many. I don't understand how Indians talk to each other because they use different names. Like, sometimes they use different names, but it's when Raj is coming in, and he's coming in riding a fucking flaming carriage, and he breaks down like the part that holds the horses on, and he steps off of the carriage, and it causes the carriage to flip upside down, and there's just this camera angle like from below as he's walking with the fucking flaming carriage like over his shoulder. And it's only for like a split second, but I love it. I love all the shots in this fucking movie like that. And it goes from like stuff like that to like soap opera reactions from people where the camera will like flash over at somebody's face just to show their facial expression. And yeah, no, I mean, I love the way this movie looks.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I think it has its own unique identity, right? It comes from its own culture and context that I have no idea about. But I did think it was, interesting. I do agree with the high contrast lighting. It is very bright. It's very high definition. And you can tell because everything's really sharp all the time. One thing that, and I don't know who is responsible for this part, did you notice the weird frame rate stuff? Like during action scenes, it just would be the frame rate would just break up really weirdly.
I did not. I didn't notice that. No.
Damn. Well, leave a comment, folks, if you notice the frame rate being weird. Because I thought it was a strange element to this movie. And then we got editor A. Shrikar Prasad. This is Prasad's first collaboration with Rajamouli. Before that, Rajamouli exclusively worked with his longtime editor, Kodagiri Venkateswara Rao, who was not available in RRR, entered post-production. Rajamouli needed an editor who could handle a massive, VFX-heavy, pan-Indian production with a long timeline. Prasad is considered one of India's most experienced editors, especially for large-scale, multi-language films, so it was a no-brainer, and they brought him on. I don't know. You cut a little bit out of this movie. Adam's literally dying over there. Yes,
I am. Oh man, I am just a little Nevish boy during the changing of the seasons. I can't disagree with you any more than I'm disagreeing with you right now, though, Dan. I don't think you need to edit anything out of this movie.
Nothing. Not a second. I think you bring it down to 2.5 hours. I could see a couple cuts.
I just don't know what you're gonna cut.
Join the Discord, fam, and you'll get the Dan cut of RRR. But I don't know. I don't have any big issues with any of it. Who did the music, Adam?
Music composed by M.M. Keeravani, Rajamouli's uncle and his most consistent musical collaborator. This is really a family film, isn't it? It's
about family when you think about it.
Keeravani is to Rajamouli what John Williams is to Spielberg, or Goblin to Dario Argento, or Fabio Frizzi to Lucio Fulci. The foundational creative partner whose music defines the emotional and mythic tone of the films. One of the most important director-composer partnerships in Indian cinema. The competition Naatu secured the Academy. Oh, what did I say?
Is it competition?
Competition. They are competing. It is a competition. The composition Naatu secured the Academy Award for Best Original Song at the 95th Academy Awards. The achievement establishes the track as the inaugural Indian production song to receive this distinction. M.M. Keeravani composed the music while Chandra Bose authored the lyrics for the sequence.
And I wanted to point out here, of note, I wanted to point out what it was up against. And I want to see if you know what any of these are. Applause from Tell It Like a Woman, Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick. This was by Lady Gaga and Blood Pop. Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I didn't even listen to any of that. I wonder if it's any good. I don't think Kendrick's not even on the soundtrack. This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, obviously Naatu wins, right? I'm still thinking about you just said the word and I'm like, Naatu. Naatu. Yeah, it's a earworm. It just shows you how, people are like, I played the trailer earlier, and some people are probably thinking, oh, it's not in English. Why does he even play the trailer? And I'm like, stop being racist.
Stop being racist. That's the point of this podcast. Don't do it.
So Everything Everywhere All at Once won 7 awards at that Oscar, including Best Picture. Who was the host, Adam?
Liberal clapback icon Jimmy Kimmel.
And yeah, I just had a little photo here of Keeravani, Rajamouli's uncle. He's the South Park looking character on the right.
Oh, okay. I'm sure he would love that.
He looks like Chef or something. he's like in the same position.
Children. He's like, children, do you know Naatu? Naatu. I can't do a Cartman.
But I don't know, that's cool. If I knew people, I mean, that's how it works, right? If your family's in show business, you're going to be in show business, and you're probably going to work with them. You're going to use their connections, and obviously, if your uncle's a composer, hell yeah, like there you go, you're done.
Yeah, just hey Unc, compose this movie for me.
Yeah, what do you think about the Unc score here?
I mean, just wonderful, right? Like, and I know that doesn't even include that. We're not even necessarily talking about the soundtrack. You know, there were a few songs written in like. Sung apparently by M.M. Keeravani. Yeah, no, I thought the soundtrack it's beautiful. I mean, not even necessarily talking about the musical numbers.
I mean, I love the musical numbers. I love the one at the end, especially after all that heartache and trauma. I was like, hell yeah.
Adhara Agenda, yeah. I was just watching that before we started recording. I needed to get hit up with that very nationalistic song that is just wonderful.
Yeah, they're like, we got nuclear bombs. We'll kill Pakistan if we need to.
We will blow up Pakistan any of these days.
All right, produced by DVV Denaya. I don't know. It was a one-off mega project. He won the rights to produce it. He's not a close collaborator, Rajamouli. Unlike his editor, cinematographer, Rajamouli's producers always vary. So we had DVV Denaya here, and we had his production company, DVV Entertainment, one of the few Telugu production houses capable of raising 400 crore. There we go. Crore is a unit of measurement. I don't know, man. I'm not Indian, and I don't need to make these calculate. I could just convert it in post. But 400 crore. We'll get into it later. How much this actually cost? He could sustain a multi-year shoot. We'll get into that. This thing took like 3 years to make. Handling global distribution partnerships. There's massive cash flow and international distribution they had to plan out. Absorbing delays without collapsing financially. Hello, this thing was being shot during the COVID pandemic. Before and after. Adam, who distributed this?
Yeah, so this was distributed by Variance Films, a United States theatrical release. They also handled the major U.S. re-releases and promotional push, including the 2023 Oscar season theatrical run. It screened theatrically in the United States in its original Telugu language. Or Telugu language. I keep saying Telugu. Telugu.
I'm sure Rajamouli will forgive us when he listens to this.
My mother. And it was also distributed by Netflix for United States digital streaming. And they had the Hindi dub version on here. The original Telugu version is streaming exclusively on Z5, a major Indian streaming service. Netflix wanted the next best thing, a Hindi dubbed version of RRR, because Hindi is the single largest, most commercially valuable streaming language in India and for the Indian diaspora. I believe we watched the Telugu version because, yeah, in Telugu it's Naatu, and in Hindi it's Nacho.
Oh, God.
I've listened to this soundtrack I've listened to all the language variants of this soundtrack that you can. And so I was very happy because I didn't know which one we were watching last night until we got to the Naatu scene. And I was like, yes, I was hoping it was this one. I couldn't tell.
I watched on Netflix too. But that was post Naatu. So I'd already watched the Naatu one. Then I started watching it on Netflix because I was like, I have Netflix. Might as well watch the stupid bullshit on there. And I'm with ads every 5 minutes. And it was weird because they have like English dub available and everyone's just kind of speaking English.
Oh.
And I was like, I didn't realize until I was like, almost at the end, I was like, wait a second, these motherfuckers are speaking English.
I really wish the song, I don't love the English dub, but I really wish the songs would have been re-performed in English. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. I didn't get into too much detail here about the cameras, but it was shot on an Arri Alexa LF, Phantom Flex, Red Monstro. Should be noted these specific technical components facilitate a large native format aesthetic and high resolution imaging throughout the cinematic duration. This equipment selection represents one of the earliest applications of this specific digital sensor and lens combination within the Indian film industry. So they're moving up in the world. They're using really cool cameras that can shoot really high def, and it's evident by what you can see on the screen. It was mastered via digital intermediate. So you got some guy in fucking Premiere Pro. There you go. This was edited in Premiere Pro, probably. It was struck to D Cinema, which is just digital cinema. Wanted to just mention here, if I haven't yet, it's a modern replacement for a 35 millimeter film. If you watched movies in theaters prior to, 2012, you probably saw whatever it was on 35 millimeter. But these days, everything's delivered via DCP, a digital cinema package. It's a bundle of image, audio, and metadata files. These look different than what you see later on Blu-ray or streaming because it's mastered for projector brightness, huge screens, and theatrical color calibrations. I have a friend who does theatrical screenings, and he works on DCPs. It's interesting. I don't understand it, but it's just it's something that comes on like a hard drive, essentially. Adam, when was this shot from?
The shooting dates for this movie is November 11, 2018, starting on Veterans Day, to August 26, 2021, 2 years, 9 months, and 15 days.
I put a lot of reasons here.
I do believe that's the longest.
Yes, yes.
I do believe that's the longest shooting date range we've seen thus far.
Yes, it is, and I was flabbergasted when I read this fact. I was like, this is the longest one in history, right? But I gave a lot of reasons here. What are some of those reasons, Adam? Why would it take someone 2 years, 9 months, and 15 days to shoot this?
Well, allegedly, Rajamouli shoots like a perfectionist maniac. He has hundreds of takes, massive coverage, reblocking scenes on the day, rewriting during production, shooting action sequences for months, and the same guy who spent 200 plus days on Bahubali's war sequences alone. This film is built around two megastars with impossible schedules, and both leads were actually injured during production. Yeah, NTR Jr. tore a ligament during training. Ram Charan fractured his ankle. Ram Charan fractured his ankle. Both required months of recovery, and action scenes had to be redesigned, rescheduled, or paused entirely. And now I think probably like the biggest one, right? COVID obliterated the schedule. India had multiple lockdowns. Films were shut down for months. Travel restrictions prevented location work. Crew availability collapsed. VFX vendors were offline or understaffed. I mean, they lost 6 to 8 months purely to COVID.
Is anything longer really than this movie, Adam? Anything shot longer than this?
Well, actually, if you... I'm glad that you asked that, Dan, because it was only topped by Boyhood in 2024, which is, we know how...
In 2024?
How long did Boyhood take the film? 2014. And that's a Boyhood sequel.
Boyhood 2. Apparently he's working on something like that. Yeah,
Boyhood 2, Back to the Boy.
It's the joke, right? It took 12 years to film. That one's obvious. What's the next one?
Avatar, The Way of Water, and Orson Welles' The Other Side of the World, or The Other Side of the Wind, a film posthumously released in 2018 after 48 years in development.
Yeah, these are cheating, because I think Avatar was shot along, I think Avatar 2 and 3 were shot together, so they just include that as like one shooting. And then Orson Welles, obviously, he's been dead for 48 years, so I don't know. I think Boyhood makes sense, but other than that, I mean, I think RRR takes it in like a logical sense and like a realistic sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because like they were actively filming it for all that time.
Yeah, like they weren't actively filming Boyhood for 12 years. They came in once a year for a couple weeks and filmed. All right. Where was this shot at? It was shot in Hyderabad, India, which is interesting, right? So like it's in the same area that the Nizam of Hyderabad would have been seeing over. Mm-hmm. And then you have the Ramoji Film City there. It's the largest film studio complex on Earth, the center of Tollywood. Most interiors, sets, and controlled environments were shot here. You would want to think about Italy's Cinecittà and The Passion of the Christ. Another location here was Kiev, Ukraine. So isn't that interesting, Adam? Ukraine. Would you have even known that had I not brought it up?
If I hadn't read about it, no, I would not have known about it.
Yeah, so like a lot of key scenes were shot there, like the Naatu Naatu song and the dance that was shot at the Presidential Palace of Ukraine, Mariinsky Palace. RRR got permission to shoot a massive dance number on the grounds. This was shot in August of 2021. I don't know if that's actually accurate. Might have been earlier, but allegedly just months before the Russian invasion. And this was one of the last major films to shoot in Kiev prior to that. You also had the Victoria Film Studios, Ukraine's biggest studio facility. They likely shot some of the Naatu Naatu stuff there, maybe some pickups. And then you have Mezahira Park, former residence of ousted Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych. It is now a public park. RRR used it for lush exteriors and architectural backdrops. But you can see it now, right? Just thinking back, you're like, okay, that's Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's strange. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, especially it's for the highlight song of the movie is shot in Ukraine. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and it's just like it shows you the movie magic, right? We talked about The Long Walk. They're just shooting in Canada. It's the same thing here, where they're just trying to get a feel. And later down the list here, we have Amsterdam, Netherlands, and it says it provides colonial Europe without needing to actually go and shoot in the UK. Because who wants to go to the UK? Ugh.
Boo.
Then we got Bulgaria. So that kind of is interesting. I wonder if Bulgaria will pop up more as we talk about movies. Like, was Revenant shot in Bulgaria? You know what I mean? Forest environments. It's a go-to for Hollywood and Indian productions because it's cheap, flexible, and has strong stunt teams. Adam, go ahead and read me that big, beautiful aspect ratio.
Aspect ratio is 1:85:1 for your flat widescreen. 99% of people have only seen this version. It's one of the most widely screened theatrically and the only one available on digital/streaming.
Yeah, that's the main one, right? The boring one. That's one we saw.
The boring one, yeah. But if you're lucky, maybe you saw an IMAX, you would have seen it in 191, slightly taller. And then allegedly, exclusive to the Book My Show stream platform for the Hindi language version, you could watch this in 2:35:1. CinemaScope, baby.
Yeah, but you have to live in India, and you have to book it for like an actual cinema. So,
oh shit.
Yeah, it exists, but we're just not going to be able to see it. I would love to see RRR in CinemaScope. It's what it needed, honestly. Did you like the aspect ratio? Do you have any issues with it? We've been watching a lot of CinemaScope recently.
I mean, I guess I'm like one of those uncouth motherfuckers that I was fine with it. I didn't even notice it. I don't even notice the aspect ratio until we look it up for the show.
I always notice now because I'm always thinking about it, but I guess it adds to like the Marvel nature of this. Like it's almost like a Marvel movie. So of course they're using the big aspect ratio. Of course they're trying to make it a little bit taller for IMAX. That would have been interesting too, to see it in IMAX. There's a little bit more headroom. Now this movie was 187 minutes, Adam. 3 hours and 7 minutes. One of those negatives was about the pacing. What do you think about the runtime here?
Well, this movie, I mean, it has a special place in my heart. So like, the runtime for me is fine. My wife she rewatched it with me, and we had like just kept putting it off until last night. We were like, shit, we have to watch this entire movie tonight. And I expected her to fall asleep, and she was wide awake with me the entire time. She said during many moments, this really is a perfect movie, isn't it? And I have to take that as the runtime and the pacing for us was great. But again, like I said, I'm in love with these characters, so I could just they need to make a sequel and then release that as a special cut edition of both these movies together, and I'll just live with them for 6 hours.
Yeah, the opening act, right, reminds you a little bit of how I feel about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where there's no central conflict necessarily yet, and it's just a fun time to hang out. It's kind of a hangout movie for a little bit, in a way. And yeah, I didn't really have an issue with the runtime. I did break it up. I did watch this over like 3 different days, but that's not what I wanted to do. It's just circumstance. But yeah, not an issue. I was expecting it. You need to have some expectations with these movies and movies you're watching, right? Like if you go on Letterboxd and you're like, it was a little bit long. It's like, well, it's Indian cinema. It's Tollywood. Of course, it's 3 hours long. Release date. This was released on March 25th, 2022. Had its release on a Friday. Adam, what were you doing March 25, 2022? Were you watching this movie? You just said you rewatched it. When did you first watch this shit?
It was a little while after that. I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't see it right when it came out. And what was I doing March 25th, 2022? I mean, I would have been working at Redacted and working for that lady whose name was Redacted. And yeah, I was just, oh man, yeah, that was just a very boring time for me where I was just working for somebody I hated. So I guess maybe it wasn't boring, but
I think I'd already moved out, right? So like you and your wife were living together, you were working, about it.
Yeah.
We'll get into it later. That's why I like the context with what was in theaters. Kind of gives you an idea. Jogs the memory. Now, I'd never seen this before. This is my first time watch, folks. So there's that. What else was in theaters for the month of March 2022? Well, March 22 found moviegoing in a strange, tentative rebirth, where Hollywood's familiar franchises shared the marquee with an anime prequel that cracked the top 5. We've seen this before. A reminder that after the pandemic, audiences were returning to theaters, but not always to the films the studios expected. What was the first movie, Adam? Who was top of the box office for the month?
Well, top of the box office, of course, was The Batman, a PG-13 rated superhero film directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, and Colin Farrell. When a sadistic serial killer begins murdering key political figures in Gotham, the Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement. This came out March 4th. Total worldwide gross, $772 million. Million dollars with a 4.0 Letterboxd rating as of 2026.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one. I love Matt Reeves, though. He did Cloverfield, so I should see it. I'm just not a huge superhero guy, and I've never been a Batman guy, so. You like this one a lot?
I have never finished it. I tried, I'll be honest, I tried watching it, and I fell asleep.
I was disappointed to see it's PG-13, and that's going to be a trend on this list for some reason. Maybe we'll talk about that, but I was hoping he was going to dick down Zoe Kravitz, but I guess not. Even less reason to watch this. All right, next one. We had Uncharted. I'm in Uncharted. I'm bald.
I don't have any charts, pal.
I'm Solly. A PG-13 rated action-adventure film directed by Ruben Fleischer, starring Tom Holland. I'm bald. Mark Wahlberg. Antonio Banderas. Street smart Nathan Drake is recruited by seasoned treasure hunter Victor Sully Sullivan to recover a fortune amassed by Ferdinand Magellan and lost 500 years ago by the House of Moncada. Released February 18th, 2022, a little bit before the movie we're talking about today. Total worldwide gross, $407 million. That's kind of a lot for this shitty movie that has a 2.7 average on Letterboxd. You seen this one, Adam?
I can tell you I have not seen this movie.
Yeah, I can't add it to the list.
No,
I did.
No.
I don't even like the games, so that's where I'm at.
I
with
like
this
Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 was a lot of fun.
Too hard, man. I don't like shoot. I get die in that game all the time. Maybe I'm better now. What was the next one, Adam?
Well, in number 3 was this piece of crap, The Lost City, a PG-13 rated action adventure comedy, directed by Aaron Nee and Adam Nee, the Nee brothers. This starred Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, and Brad Pitt. I did not know Brad Pitt was in this movie.
Yeah, I guess so.
A reclusive romance novelist on a book tour with her cover model gets swept up in a kidnapping attempt that lands them both in a cutthroat jungle adventure. This one came out March 25th. It made $192 million with a 2.7 Letterboxd average rating as of 2026.
This was the legitimate
It's not good,
competition for RRR, man. This came out same day. Tate Yum, dude. Channing Tate Yum.
More like 10.
I don't know. This is why, like, you know, the movie's coming out. I think it's a movie. I don't even know anymore. But like The Adventures of Cliff Booth, it's being directed by David Fincher, and it's like a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I'm just like, I don't think Brad Pitt has it anymore, guys. Sorry. Yeah, add it to the list. Next one was called Jujutsu Kaisen 0, a PG-13 rated animated or anime dark fantasy film directed by Sung-Hoo Park. The prequel to Jujutsu Kaisen from 2020, where a high schooler gains control of an extremely powerful cursed spirit and gets enrolled in the Tokyo Prefectural Jujutsu High School by Jujutsu sorcerers. This was number 4 at the box office, guys. Released March 18, 2022. It made $166 million. Has a 3.9 average on Letterboxd. You seen this one, Adam?
Also, I just have a friend I worked with.
Jesus.
Also, just want to know, I did have a friend who went and saw this movie, and like he was a big anime guy, and he was very excited for it. So I was near it. He like drop kicks Michael Myers out of a window.
This is something like my niece would be really into, like 10 years ago or whatever. I just think it's really strange, and it really just goes to show you, right? People were not fucking going to the cinema.
Right. I mean, yeah, when's the last time an anime was in the top 10?
This is why I keep the living documents, because I want to reference, we did talk about a movie at one point from recent times, and there was like a random like Chainsaw Man in the box office, and I was like, why is that? I guess cinema is dying, guys, but it's good for international cinema, right? If Hollywood dies,
we probably wouldn't have RRR.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to still be wanting to watch movies.
What was the next one, Adam?
Again, we have Channing Tatum showing up at number 5 with Dog. PG-13, comedy drama road film, directed by Channing Tatum and Reed Caroline. Both directors' feature film debut. Stars Channing Tatum, Jane Addams, and Ethan Suplee. Two hard-charging former Army...
Did you say Tanning Tatum?
Tanning Tatum. Go back. Rewind that back. Let's hear what I said.
Yeah, we'll play it on repeat.
Tanning Tatum. Two hard-charging former Army Rangers paired against their will. Briggs and Belgian Malinois. And a Belgian, is that how you say it? Malinois?
I don't fucking know.
Named Lulu. Race down the Pacific coast in hopes of making it to a fellow soldier's funeral on time. This was February 18th, and it grossed $84 million with a 3.0 letterbox rating.
What is this thing still doing in theaters? And it only made $84 million? This is not a good month for cinema. Not for making money. Absolutely not. Did you know dog?
Until you get to the next one.
What's dog backwards, Adam?
Oh, wow.
Thank God, Shingo.
I didn't even think about it that way.
What's the next one, Adam? Oh, is it my turn? It's my turn.
I mean, yeah.
This one's number 6. I did see this one. I remember this one came out. You could. I think I can't remember if it was in theater for a period of time, and then you could rent it, or if you could rent it right away for an inflated price. But I own this movie digitally still because I rented it or bought it because I wanted to watch it. I'll say right now, Spider-Man: No Way Home. This is in my mind, this is like the last Marvel movie that people gave a shit about. Which is crazy. PG-13 rated superhero film directed by John Watts, starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, Benedict Cumberbatch, Jon Favreau, Jamie Foxx, Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, Benedict Wong, Marissa Tomei, Andrew Garfield, and the boy, Tobey Maguire. With Spider-Man's identity now revealed, Peter asks Doctor Strange for help. When a spell goes wrong, dangerous foes from other worlds start to appear. Do you know anything about Spider-Man No Way Home? Did you see this one? We watched a lot of Avengers movies together, Adam.
I think I've seen this movie.
Yeah, well, it's the one that has Willem Dafoe come back and Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. It's the multiverse. It's the one that started that in a big way. Maybe not started.
I think I watched this movie, but I was pretty inebriated while watching it.
Yeah, it's also
which is how I
not
watch a lot
good.
of Marvel films.
It's also just not very good. I do like Sam Raimi's movie after this one, Multiverse of Madness. It's actually pretty good, but this is the last one people gave a shit about. This is before it all went downhill. But yeah, released December 17, 2021. Huge, massive movie. Obviously, it made 1.9. Is that billion?
That's billion, my friend.
$1.9 billion. Still in theaters, obviously. Still at number 6. 3.8 on Letterboxd. What's next one?
The next one we have Death on the Nile at number 7. PG-13, directed by Kenneth Branagh. And it stars Tom Bateman, Annette Bening, Kenneth Branagh, Russell Brand, Gal Gadot, and Armie Hammer. While on vacation on the Nile. To fill the Nile. While on vacation on the Nile, Hercule Poirot must investigate the murder of a young heiress. This movie came out February 11th. Total worldwide gross, $137 million.
Did pretty well.
This has a 2.7 rating on Letterboxd.
As much shit as you hear about this
movie.
No, as much shit as you hear about this movie, you'd think it had not have made as much money as it did.
To fill the Nile.
Fucking this is the cast here is like a fucking nightmare blunt rotation though.
Yeah. Imagine getting high with Russell Brand and Gal Gadot.
Honestly, those are the worst part. Maybe Kenneth Branagh is pretty bad too. I'd be like, can you stop making bad Universal horror movies? And then Armie Hammer, I love. Me and him would hang out. But yeah, I've not seen this one. I have no intention of seeing it.
Yeah, that's not on my list.
Not adding it to the list. Next one I'll just mention was RRR, number 8 for the month. TVMA rated Indian Telugu language epic. Released March 25th. So we'll mention it here. Worldwide gross, $165 million. So did okay. Did pretty good for a random Indian movie that would never break out in the States otherwise. 2026 average rating, 4.2. Pretty high. Like pretty damn high for a movie. What's the next one, Adam?
That is pretty, yeah. The next one is number 9, Sing 2, PG-rated animated jukebox musical comedy, directed by Garth Jennings, stars Matthew McConaughey, Reese Witherspoon, Scarlett Johansson, Nick Kroll, Halsey, Pharrell Williams, Nick Offerman, Eric Andre, Chelsea Peretti, and Protestant singer Bono. Buster Moon and his friends must persuade reclusive rock star Clay Calloway to join them for the opening of a new show. This movie came out in December 22nd of the previous year. Total worldwide gross $408 million.
Woo!
Through a letterbox rating of 3.2. So this movie sounds like it was quite a success.
Yeah, you're about to learn all about these movies, Adam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This looks like shit. Why does the poster have them facing away from me? That's just bad design. Moving on. We got X at number 10. Have you seen X, Adam?
No, my wife has.
Oh really? I like X a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
If Spaghetti was here, he'd go on a fucking rant about it, and I'd be like, Spaghetti, it made $14 million. It's like tiny. You go out and watch the Minecraft movie and say it's great. Shut the fuck up. If you're hearing the Spaghetti, I love you, but your opinion on X is fucking ridiculous. R-rated slasher film directed by Ty West, starring Mia Goth, Jenna Ortega before she absolutely blew up, Brittany Snow, and Scott Mescudi, also known as Kid Cudi. In 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in a rural Texas farm. But when their reclusive elderly hosts catch them in the act, the crew find themselves fighting for their lives. Released March 18th, 2022, like a week or so before this one. Made $14 million. You know, this was made with $1 million. I know that. So, like, it made money back. 2026 rating, 3.4, which I think is deserved. Check it out, folks. Add it to the list. This one might be for Haunted Frame, though. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out the distinction. That's our top 10, Adam, but I did add a couple fun picks. What's next one?
Well, number 12 was Jackass Forever, R-rated reality slapstick comedy film directed by Jeff Tremaine. And of course, this stars Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, Chris Pontius, Dave England, Danger Erin, Wee Man, Preston Lacey, Poopies, Zach Holmes, Jasper Dolphin, Eric Manica, and Rachel Wolfson. After 11 years, the Jackass crew is back for another crusade. Released February 4th. This total worldwide gross was $80 million. It's got a average letterbox rating of 3.5.
Yeah, I love this movie. I just love Jackass. I don't know. I'm biased. I'm going to love these movies forever. This is the one millennial thing that's going to stick. I'm really excited for the new one coming out. And it's crazy to me this was really an 11-year break. And I always say it. I always bring it up. But like coming back after the pandemic, this was the first movie I went and saw in theaters. And I was like, we're back in business, baby. We're back at the movies. And, you know, it was a packed theater. Everyone's laughing. And it was a great time at the movies, and that's how I'll always remember Jackass forever. So I got high hopes for this new one, and I'll end it here with this next one. Unless you have something to say about Jackass Forever, Adam.
Never saw it.
Whoa!
I do love the Jackass movies.
God damn it, Adam! You can't miss this next one, Adam. You need to come out with the War Boys. I'm gonna go see Obsession today with the fellow War Boy Tyler. Adam's gonna be absent, unfortunately. But you got to be there for Jackass, buddy. You got to go. Next one is Strawberry Mansion. It was number 57 on the month. Unrated, surrealist, science fiction, fantasy, adventure film. Directed by Albert Burney, Kentucker Audley. And starring Penny Fuller, Kentucker Audley, and Grace Glowicki. In a world where the government records dreams and taxes them, a dream auditor gets caught up in the dreams of an aging eccentric. Yes, folks, we've covered Strawberry Mansion on the show. I believe it was episode 3, because I think we did Lost Highway, King of Comedy, and then Strawberry Mansion, right?
Sounds about right.
It only made $97,000 at the box office. Has a 3.6 on Letterboxd. Do you have any fond memories of Strawberry Mansion? Captain, a blue demon!
A blue demon! I love this movie. I think I rewatched it, actually. Yeah, I think this movie is just wonderful. You know what, Dan? I think I will try that chicken shake.
Yeah, we'll get that chicken shake. It holds. That's why I mentioned here is just in context that it came out around this time, and I like this movie. Shout out, come on the show, Albert Burney and Kentucker Audley. We're preparing to enter the station here, so we can finally talk about this movie. But I want to talk about the budget. This is where we finally reveal the rupee truth. This movie made it was made on $57 million, basically. And that was converted from 5.5 billion Indian rupees. Total worldwide gross, 165, almost 166 million. So I would say, hopefully, confidently, this movie made its money back and it made more money. It made profit, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a success. Part of me wants it to be up with that Spider-Man money, but you can't. I guess you can't get everything.
Yeah, it's pretty high for what it is. Like, can you even name another Indian movie? That is.
Like I said, the only other Indian movie I can think of is Slumdog Millionaire.
Is that actually Indian though? It was directed by Danny Boyle. It was a British drama, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh, because I was thinking, because it does star Dev Patel, and Dev Patel is like he's kind of like famous for being I believe of Indian descent. There you go. And he actually has a lot of pride in India, and like he's made movies like Monkey Man. He was in Monkey Man where he directed the movie, and it was all about like politics in modern day India and stuff, kind of like almost like a John Wick film. And yeah, I don't know. That's like the closest we get other than this one.
Well, I guess the reason I don't know. Yeah, I never looked into it, but the Slumdog Millionaire does end with a dance number. Yeah, a really big dance number.
It's probably like, an homage kind of thing. Danny Boyle's not stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Just good to point out it made money. It made a good amount of money, and $57 million. It looks damn good for $57 million.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this is like, I would say this is what Marvel movies should be aiming for, right?
Yeah. I'd take a hit on some of the CGI for movies that actually aren't like bullshit.
The CGI is fine. This honestly, I think the animals, so we should note too, since we're just real quick, all the animals in this movie, CGI. Every last animal you see in this movie is CGI. Mm-hmm. And I think
it's becoming more common practice.
I think they look great.
Yeah, like in Nope, the ape in that one was completely CGI. In the new movie, Primal, I think it's called. What is the movie called? The new one? Primate. Primate is a guy in a suit. But yeah, they're not using animals anymore, which is good. And obviously it comes from India. I think India has more of a different relationship with animals than we do here in the States as well. They at least don't eat cows, right? That's a Hindu thing?
Yeah, correct.
Now, the cast, Adam. I don't know any of these people. There's not much to say about them, but we can say what we saw in the movie, right? We can say what we saw. We have NT Rama Rao Jr. as Komaram Bheem. I loved him. He's I always like to make these comparisons. He's like the heart of the movie, and then the next guy is like the soul. Who's the next guy?
So next we have Ram Charan as Alluri Sitarama Raju. And it should be noted that these two guys are, in their own right, they are superstars in India. Mm-hmm. And that's like one of the big things another thing about this movie. It's not just an epic, musical action drama adventure. It's also two huge stars coming together. This is kind of like the, we keep talking about Marvel movies. This is kind of like the Avengers, because you have Robert Downey Jr. acting with, I want to say Chris Pratt, who plays Captain America.
No. Well, Chris Pratt's in there. You got Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pratt.
There's so many Chris's.
Oh, and there's Chris Evans too. There's a lot of Chris.
Oh. I do like the picture you included of Ram Charan, by the way. That's like one of my favorite shots in the movie.
Yeah, I had to steal that. I had to take that myself because everyone's racist and doesn't have pictures of him online if you search for him. I don't know what's up with this. Anyway, Yeah, great photo. There's some really striking cinematography in here that's really inventive and fun and isn't trying to necessarily impress in the way American cinema tries to. Next guy was Ram Charan, or not, sorry, not Ram Charan, Ajay Devgn, Devin, I don't want to say his name, as Alluri Venkatarama Raju, Rama Raju's late father. I also love the photo I took of him there.
He fucking throws off that fucking whatever that, that flag, unveils what's about to go down.
Like, I don't want to get arrested or whatever, but like I'll say, I think it's really interesting that this movie kind of turns the normal Western thing on its head, where if this was a Western movie, Raju and his father would just be two people they killed in, what is that movie called? Warfare? Like, it would just be like, oh, there's a terrorist over there and he blew up. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in this movie, he's like a hero. He's a hero for providing guns to people. He's a hero for blowing himself up in combat to kill a bunch of these British soldiers. I think that's really interesting, and I think that's something that sets this movie apart and makes me think about it in like a positive way that maybe I wouldn't normally about a nationalist cinema. It's just the fact that this nationalist cinema so happens to have had its neck stepped on like by the British Crown for so long. So they have this rich history to pull from of revolution and stuff. And I mean, we keep saying it's like a Marvel movie, but Marvel would never touch anything like this.
No, yeah, they'd be too scared.
Who is up next?
Oh man, I'm so glad I get this one because I get to be sexist. It's Alia Bhatt as Sita, Rama Raju's fiance, and this marks the Telugu cinema debut for Alia Bhatt. And I would just like to say, Dan, what a beautiful woman. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna thirst.
What a beautiful British woman.
Yeah. I was just like, Jesus Christ, I can't help it. She's like, I don't want to look away from the screen.
Yeah, I think she's like a big star in Britain, but yeah, this was her acting debut in Telugu cinema. I liked her a lot. I mean, they pull at your heartstrings, right? I did see a comment from a woman who I like and read her reviews, and she said, in this movie, it's very much like a bro comedy, and the women are kind of sidelined. And I think that is a negative I could point out.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Like, her and Ginny, like they're just more set pieces to help move, and like occasionally they have some like bit of info that moves the men along.
Yeah, it's always about men. This movie's not passing the Bechdel test.
This movie is for the boys.
Yeah, it is for the boys, for sure. Next one is Ray Stevenson. Do we know what Ray Stevenson is in? Because I recognize his face, but I'm like, what is Ray Stevenson?
Oh, man.
Is he like in...
I mean,
Punisher Warzone?
Where do I even begin? Where do I even begin? Yeah, I mean, Punisher Warzone.
He was in Dexter.
He was in Rome. He was in Dexter. That's right. He played the gay Ukrainian mobster.
That's probably why I know him. That's probably the only reason I know him is from Dexter.
He is a great. He's not like the lead in a lot of movies, or at least like not at the beginning. But he's a great character actor. Like he's one of those guys that like people who love character actors will often be like Ray Stevenson. He's always
he's got a TV face for sure.
He's great in Rome. You
see that face and you're just like, I've seen you on television, buddy. He was in I haven't seen anything though. I guess just Dexter. Damn. He made an impact though, because I remembered him. Shout out Ray Stevenson. I love the shot I took of him here too.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Just for the listening audience at home, I'm looking at a picture of Ray Stevenson, arrow in his fucking shoulder. He's right before he gets shot. No.
He's reaching his arm out. He's screaming at the top of his lungs, covered in blood. Yep. Same with the next one. Who is up next, Adam?
Of course, up next we have Alison Doody. I said Doody, and as Catherine Buxton. She's the Governor Scott Buxton's wife. What an evil bitch, right? Am I right, folks?
Yeah. She's an Irish actress and model. She was a Bond girl in A View to Kill.
I feel like her plastic surgery Much like Nicole Kidman in the movie in The Northman, her plastic surgery, it doesn't like make her. A lot of people complain. They'll be like, "Oh, she doesn't look like she fits in," and I'm like, "She looks like she fits in perfectly. She's supposed to be some sort of like evil freak."
Yeah, she's supposed to have bad plastic surgery, right? When was plastic surgery invented?
I have to assume like the 90s, maybe the 80s, maybe even the 70s.
1917. 1917,
Jesus.
folks. 600 BC, folks. First written records of skin grafts and nose reconstruction. So I believe it. I believe it, absolutely. It looks like bad work, and that helps. Also portrays her as evil white lady, which, yeah. Next one is the opposite of evil white lady. We got Jenny, played by Olivia Morris. This also marks her Telugu cinema debut for Olivia Morris. Do we know anything about Olivia Morris? Nope. What do you think about her performance?
Oh, I thought she was great. She's just kind of supposed to be this like naive, wealthy English woman who has what would you call it? How do you say sympathy for the Indian people that she lives around?
Yeah, but for no reason. I don't know. I do kind of see like with the women characters, that's where this movie kind of falls apart a little bit.
Yeah, like I guess I see your point because like she just kind of comes out of nowhere and she's like, "Stop hitting that man."
Well, it just reminds me of Brad Pitt in 12 Years a Slave when he pulls up and he's just like, "I'm here. I'm white Jesus on a horse." And I'm like, why are you in this movie? But I don't know. She was fine. It wasn't bad. It was a good debut. Next one, Rahul Ramakrishna Lachu.
Rahul.
I like this guy a lot. He's got a very expressive face.
Yeah. He feels like somebody I've seen before, but then I have to remind myself I've probably not seen any of these actors before, except for Ray Stevenson.
No. Yeah, basically. He's just got a face. He's got a good face. That's what I'd say about him. I'd cast him in my movie. He's got good eyes, good face. It's very It's kind of like when Mel Gibson talks about the actors in Passion of the Christ, where he's like, he's just got a baby face. And I'm like, I kind of feel that way about this guy. He's got an innocence to him, a very warm and friendliness to him that I really like. But yeah, shout out. Rahul Ramakrishna. Now, I swear I had more trivia in here, but apparently not. So we don't have much trivia this week, folks, but I do have one note. N.T. Rama Rao Jr. and Ram Charan executed voice dubbing for their respective roles in both Telugu and Hindi language versions. Ooh, they're talented. This production decision ensured vocal consistency across major regional markets and utilized specific linguistic capabilities of the lead performers. But yeah, that's kind of cool. You want to read me a couple of these Letterboxd reviews before we get into it?
Esther says, "This got me thinking about how deteriorated the notion of spectacle is in the American cinema now. Our spectacle is entirely metatextual. Just watching different IP appear on screen together is supposed to be thrilling. RRR gets what actual spectacle should look like. Absolutely electrifying from beginning to end. I'll leave it at that because I'm less familiar with Indian cinema than I should be, but I had an absolute blast watching this, laughing and cheering more than I've done in a theater in years. If you have the opportunity to see this in a theater, do not pass it up." Well, I'm sorry. I was not able to see this in theater. I feel like they're coming for me.
I cared about COVID, okay? I was trying to save lives.
Stop the spread.
Next one comes from David Ehrlich. Stop the spread. Next one comes from David Ehrlich, 4 stars. "If you guys thought I was too hard on Hollywood blockbusters before I saw this," I like that one.
And then James Shafrillas says, "Easiest 5 stars I've ever given in my life."
I love his little photo because it's from the meme they stole from like a dumb DreamWorks movie or whatever. But it's like when a Skyrim NPC talks to you or whatever, they just stop everything they're doing and stare directly into your soul.
Yeah.
That's from. Next one is from my favorite Letterboxd reviewer. Shout out PD187. Right into the show, PD. Give me a shout. Reach out. Come on the show. He said, 4.5 stars. Great Tony Tiger voice. Canon-style action, revenge, made by people from the places those movies blew up. Holy shit, fuck yeah. Love it, wow, etc. 3+ hours flew by. Favorite of the year so far. Go see this.
And then Janie Danger. Is that a friend of yours, Dan?
Yeah, friend of the show, Janie Danger. Shout out, come on the show.
Friend of the show, Janie Danger. Incredibly fucking sick. American tentpole blockbusters should take note. The amount of audacious action scenes and set pieces in this was just so outstanding. Such a good movie to watch with the fellas. It's rousing, heroic, it's kinda hot, scathingly anti-imperialist, and fuck it if that dance-off song is not just cycling through my brain on repeat now. There's just so many outrageously creative ways to show the most fun, over-the-top violence in this. I see why it's finding some crossover appeal in the States. Definitely a filmmaker I personally want to dig deeper into. Still grinning about how this found such a charming way to be both awe-inspiring in its sheer blood-pumping, masculine viscera, and its wholesome, purely silly musical spectacles.
As we said, folks, bare-chested males.
Bare-chested males.
That comes from
racism.
That comes from the cinematographer. Him and his masculine shots. But yeah, that's some Letterboxd reviews. That's some from the Peanut Gallery. But I don't know. Let's get into it, Adam. What'd you think about RRR on your rewatch?
Still in my top 10 of movies. I just have to say that. I would say that for sure. I forgot how much of this movie I've rewatched also over the years. Watching this from start to finish again, I was struck with how I was able to like find so much of it ridiculous. Not in a way where I'm like, this is ridiculous, turn it off. Or it's this is ridiculous, I can't wait to see more. And every frame of this movie is a lot of fun. And really struck this time too by how soap opera-y it gets at times. And again, not a criticism. I loved it. Loved the soap opera vibe to some of the scenes, especially the bromance scenes.
Yeah, like when he just screams at him, like he finds out, like, he's like, ah, like he what happens? He makes sure that he doesn't get the girl the first time they raid the mansion, and he just screams in anger at him like crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this movie's very, very emotional, I mean, goddamn, dude, like watching this movie, it makes me be, and I'm just like, man, I really need a strong male friend. Dan, I got to lift you up on my shoulders and do some squats.
Yeah, I'm saying we could be strong. We just got to exercise like these guys so we could do the bridge maneuver. Let me set the scene too before we get too much further. I've started doing the plots, so we have people who haven't watched it and just want to listen. Set in 1920s British occupied India, RRR follows two men whose lives intersect long before they understand who the other truly is. Beam, a protector of the Gone tribe, travels to Delhi in disguise to rescue a young girl taken by a British governor, while Raju, an ambitious police officer, is secretly working from within the colonial system to arm a future rebellion. The two meet during a dramatic bridge rescue and form a deep friendship, each unaware that they are destined to become enemies. When Beam launches a raid on the governor's mansion, he and Raju clash violently, leading to Beam's arrest. Raju then stages a public execution meant to protect his undercover mission, but uses the moment to free Beam and the girl, sacrificing his own freedom in the process. After learning the truth from Raju's wife, Beam returns to rescue him, and the two reunite to launch a final assault on the governor's estate, fighting side by side as mythic symbols of resistance, fire and water. One thing I'll just point out, I just want to mention, is when I love when he betrays the British Raj at the end, and they're driving down that strip of land, and he just starts speeding or something. I don't know what happens, but he basically ensures that this trap falls down and this tree like collapses onto Ray Stevenson's car, and he like flies up into the air, grabs his gun. It's like incredibly coordinated and syncopated, and he's just like boom, and he shoots. Like, I don't know what happens. Does he shoot out a tire? because immediately they speed the frame rate up really fast and the car just flies off road. And I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. Oh man, that's so great. I'm so happy that like you're pointing that scene. There's so many scenes where I was just like, oh, I can't wait to hear what Dan has to say about this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of scenes in this movie. It's really long, and just reading that, you kind of get an idea of like the plot elements. But there's a lot of scenes I like. I like the scene at the very beginning with the guy we were just talking about, the really nice face. You have Lachu, who meets Raju at the meeting or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, we're thinking about killing the the king or whatever, or the guy, Ray Stevenson." And he gets him to walk all the way to this like checkpoint, and then he notices and he freaks out. That's where that still is from. He freaks out, and he's like, "Oh, he's an officer that's trying to entrap me," and he just takes off. I love that moment. Long way to get there, but that's a good moment.
Yeah.
What are some other scenes?
Yeah, I love that moment. Oh man, there's so many scenes flashing through my head. Let me pull up what I have written down a bit. I love the bridge rescue intro. So this is at the beginning of the movie, where after we've been introduced to the main characters, and now it's time for them to be introduced to one another. And you have Raj, and he is just like, so yeah. Let's set up the scene. There's a bridge. There's a train moving underneath the bridge. Raj is standing on the bridge, and he is just like the shaky. You can't tell, like the bridge is shaking because of the train, but you almost think it's shaking because he's just so brooding in this moment. He's like, because he's searching for Beam, and because if he finds Beam, he's going to get promoted to special officer. That's going to be the guy. Did you mention that in the plot?
Yeah, he's trying to arm a revolution, so he's working from it within inside. We don't find that out until like halfway through the movie, though. So we just think he's an asshole for the longest time.
And that's what's crazy about rewatching this too. Is like, I know that already. Like I already know that Raj is a good guy. So I'm just kind of laughing because I'm just like, oh wait, he's a bad guy right now. I remember thinking like, whoa, what a bad guy. Yeah, like back to talking about favorite scenes though. It's when they're both introduced to each other, and just the way, I don't know, my wife and I are narrating the movie as we're watching it last night, and the way that they like both see each other, Raj is up on the bridge, Beam is down on the shore, and like they both like, this train wrecks, it's carrying fuel, everything starts exploding. There's a kid stuck out in the water, in a circle of fire.
It's really strange how they recognize the superhero in each other.
Oh yeah. They just know what, I don't know, like he like gives them like, they do some hand signals, and he's like,
signaling
I know exactly what you want me to, I know exactly what you want me to do. And there's this like this very convoluted rescue scene.
Yeah. How did they communicate that? That's fucking insane. As they were doing it, I was like, how does he know what's even going to happen? Because they're just running at each other on the bridge. And I'm like, what the fuck? One of them's got like a flag. I'm like, how does he know where the flag is going to come in?
Oh, he knows, dude. That's the thing. When you are Ram and you are Beam working together, they immediately are on in sync, and they speak a little special language to one another.
Yeah, it's like some DBZ shit. This is like Dragon Ball Z.
Any scenes that like really stuck in your brain, Dan?
To be honest, no. There's nothing comes to mind immediately. No, other than the singing song. The singing ones I really liked. The singing at the end, again, a highlight. I just like the whole story. The whole thing works really well. I wouldn't really cut anything either. I know I was joking about that earlier, but what do you cut?
Right.
Obviously, I already mentioned like a little bit. Like I love the scenes of like just like violence. I like that the movie, like at the end, they're just like stepping on people's necks. Again, Mortal Kombat, breaking people's spines, and it doesn't feel bad at any point because like these people are evil and deserve it. Yeah, I like revolutionary violence in movies. We should have more of it in Minecraft and other games.
Yeah. It is hard to pick out scenes that you love in this movie because, like you said, it's all so good. If I may, however,
go ahead.
I think the part of the movie, rewatching it, one of the parts that got me super excited is just literally the song. Like, so after Raj and Beam, like, you know, they jump over to the side of the bridge, they rescue the kid, they're holding on to each other's, like, you know, they got that powerful fucking, like, you know, handshake that's holding them up above the river. And then just the break into the song, I believe that song is called Dosti, yeah, which I think means friendship. And literally I don't know, I just love that the lyrics of the song are describing what's happening.
Yeah,
it's just like, you know, and it's like, will this friendship end in blood? It
reminds me of a Fulci movie I watched called Silver Saddle. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick, because in that movie, it's a spaghetti western that Lucio Fulci directed, and in it there's a song that plays and it just tells you the plot of the movie, just like you're saying. My review for this movie was Child of Light. Now you use your gun very well. You learned so young. You shot a man, they said, after he killed your father. Now you ride. Silver saddle, shining so bright, out in the sun. What is your destiny now? Times 20. I like that element. It's campy, but I think it's inherent to the cinema. I think we're just not super familiar with Indian cinema, and that's probably super common. But yeah, I don't know. There's a couple prompts here we could talk about. How does RRR portrayal of British colonialism compare to how Hollywood handles its own historical sins? Can you make a comparison to this movie? I was trying to make a comparison to One Battle After Another, but even that's kind of flimsy.
I mean, I guess like the only thing I can actually think of would be
Oppenheimer.
I mean, Oppenheimer for one, yeah. Babylon,
The Dark
just
Knight,
because it's like an yeah, The Dark Knight. Well, like Babylon, just because it's an epic film about early Hollywood and like the debauchery of it. But are there any like giant, even like, yeah, like America's weird. Like we don't even have any giant films.
Can we claim Braveheart?
I mean, we can kind of claim Braveheart, but again, that's like, it's still so removed. Like there's not even like an epic badass movie about defeating the British, you know?
No, I can't even think of one. There probably is someone out there screaming at the top of their lungs, but I haven't seen that movie. Leave it in the comments. What else is on here? I guess we could just openly talk about the element of like how it's all made up. How do you feel about that? Do you like the mythic filmmaking behind this? It's kind of like Passion of the Christ in that way too, right?
I do. I like and I really like the idea of like, yeah, you take these two very real, very historical figures and you make, you know, this third myth about them where it's like, what would it be like had they met? And you just like drive that to its weird logical conclusion, at times illogical conclusions.
It could, you know, I don't mind it. I think if I was to complain, it'd be ridiculous. But I do like it a lot, and I like that they're portrayed as superheroes because it's like fucking insane. One question I did want to hit on before we kind of close out here is blockbuster fatigue. Does RRR succeed because it rejects the self-aware millennial tone of modern blockbusters? Do you think this movie is better because it's sincere instead of being like, so that just happened?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and I think that's at least for us, right? Like that's a thing that just is so refreshing. That there's never any winking at the camera. There's just winking at each other. like they never wink at us, the audience. But they're always loving on it. Like they love each other. They're best friends. And when they, you know, when they break up, it's heartbreaking. But then when they're reunited after, you know, they realize what's going on, it's even more heartbreaking. It's moving. And I think, like that one audience member or that one reviewer who was like, if you hated, what does he say? If you guys thought I was too hard on Hollywood blockbusters before I saw this. And I'm like, yeah, like let's get some fucking let's start getting some sincerity out of our blockbusters. You know, they don't have to always just be so. They don't have to always be so tongue in cheek, and they don't have to be so cynical either. I appreciate this movie's just lack of cynicism.
Well, Baz Luhrmann is out here and he's trying, and everyone just makes fun of him. So,
yeah.
Elvis was his most recent one that came out. He's white. But yeah, I agree with you. Maybe we need to take a look at Elvis. Take a second look at Elvis. Talking about devotional cinema. But Adam, that brings us to the end of our show this week. I think it's clear we both recommend RRR. Do you have any thoughts before we completely stop with this movie and let it rest?
I mean, there's this like, yeah. The most I would want to say about this movie, you would get it better if like we just sat down and watched this movie. We'd have to watch it twice, of course. So like I could let you watch it, and then we can watch it and talk about it. God, I would just say, just rewatch this movie. Have your friends watch this movie. Have your dad watch this movie.
Send it to your family.
They'll get over. Send it to your family. Send it to your mother. They'll get over like how long it is, because it's only 3 hours long. Like, get over it.
Yeah, I don't know. Since we do this podcast,
movie fucking rocks.
Since we do this podcast, I'm just like, I don't know. 3 hours is fine. 2 hours is like most of the movies we watch.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's RRR, folks. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. I hope the discussion was enlightening. I hope we are providing a service, because basically we're the only ones who would talk about everything but the movie's plot for 2 hours. We're the only podcast that would do that. And thanks for joining us on episode 99. Next week is going to be episode 100, Adam. A huge episode for Dan and Adam. What are we going to be watching? I think we agreed upon a movie, right?
I mean, I think we did, Dan, and I'm very excited to hear what you're about to say.
We're going to be watching 2023's Beau is Afraid. That's right, folks, our namesake.
I just try to make that shit as base as possible. I just try to make it base.
We're going to be watching our namesake and the reason we came together and started this podcast 3 years ago. Isn't that crazy?
That is insane.
Holy shit. I just realized that. But yeah, 3 years ago, me and Adam saw Beau is Afraid, and we said, we sat outside the theater afterwards, and we're like, hey man, you want to start this podcast back up? Talk about this movie. And here we are, 3 years later, almost 100 episodes. Next episode will be 100. I guess, I don't know. How do you feel about that? To me, that's like, that was my goal. Was like, we're going to hit 100, and that's it. Like, if we make it there, then good. But now that we've hit it, I'm like, I don't know. I guess we just keep going.
It's all downhill from here, baby.
At least we're at the top of our game now, right? Right, folks? Right, audience? Leave a comment. Are we at the top of our game? But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it again. I mean, what can you say about Beau is Afraid? That's going to be the podcast next week. Is what can you say about Beau is Afraid at this point?
Yeah, like what could even
we'll
be
try
said?
to make it interesting. We'll do some digging. It's a movie we've seen many times, and we'll figure it out. But thanks for joining us on this show, folks, and join us on episode 100 for our celebration next week. I think it's going to be pretty low key, but that's what we want. Episode 1 was low key. Episode 100 is going to be low key. Adam, do you have any words of wisdom for our wonderful listeners that stuck around for 2 hours of this nonsense?
Thank you again. I mean, I love you guys so much. I don't know you, and guess what? I would fight for you. I would fight for your right to say that, sir. And, this week's coming up. It's a big week because it's the next week, and the week after that will be important too. So just take each day as it comes, one day at a time.
Read.
And that's it. That's our show this week, folks. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Good night or bye.
Jazz aliens? Yo, we from the planet Jazz. We're here to take over your honky asses, including you, host of the show.
Jazz alien Quano Mono invented the Big Five sound.
Yo, we're taking you to hell. You could be in hell, bitch.
White monkey.
What's all that then?